Listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. Give me a second. I got to run a plate past you. Oklahoma plate, Black Bronco, Oklahoma plate, LDQ 586 comes up strange. I think it was parked after I arrived. I'm not sure. Or after I went in the store. It's not anything they say like, we're trying to get them not to do this or not. That's not real. None of it's real. It's all a murder criminal enterprise. Like I said, murder.gov, Murder Inc. type thing. So that was pretty quick. I don't hopefully I didn't need anything else in the store. I found a couple of the mouthwashes left. Again, even if they have a legitimate excuse as to why it's minimizing, you don't know if that's really it. I mean, obviously, Trump and his people want me dead more than they want Jack Smith dead. Power! You made choices, all of you. You decided to take the mark of the beast, and with your mark of the beast, you decided to destroy my life. Same as everyone else. Again, Trump's just a money grubbing piece of shit. He'll make deals with the devil all day long. So a lot of I'll bring this up real quick. A lot of Christians, their question is, well, if a church told me this, aren't I an innocent victim? Well, God has to decide that. But there are things that were theoretically unforgivable, and that's causing another person to fall. What the church does is try to tell you that we wrestle against flesh and blood. So if that person's this or that person's that, they're the ones that are causing the others to fall. No, it's metaphysical. I guess I have to go this way. The light turned red. Sometimes that's a cue to turn. Right. So again, what's really happening is they're coming in and they're having this immense wealth, this immense ability to use restricted illegal methods. Essentially, they're putting their victim in a prisoner of war camp. And they did it to Haney. That's why Haney's dead. Whatever they did is the same thing. It's kind of a Luna thing. Did he kill himself or did somebody kill him? 100%. But they did Haney. I went through it. I know, I can see people killing themselves off of it. Me, I try to regenerate it back at them. And have, quite frankly. What's this one? those blackfish or something. There's something. I'm not gonna look at it. It's too close to when last time I went. Give it some time to heal because there was some stuff down there that was messed up. Right. I want to waste my traveled way on some place I've already seen. So there's several methods that they use um, with the victim unaware. As theoretically, it's an investigation, but it's not. It's an adulteration of their psychology, and they keep leading them along into something that they have no ability not to go into at a certain point because of the torture. The body will actually move in that direction. Now, I'm not telling you everybody they do that to does something wrong. I'm not telling you that, but you're at least going to go in some direction that you're not normally going to go in. Again, you're like at a minimum, Jonathan Luna was in a position. Again, I don't know what happened. So was he kidnapped? Theoretically, not. That's where I think the conclusion was. Right. But if he was put in a position where that could happen to him. Right. So it's putting you in again with Bob. He was put in a risky position and then disappeared because they wanted him disappeared. Like if Bob made it back, I believe something would have taken him to some unfaithfulness. Maybe not. I don't know Bob. But again, this is psychological operation. It seemed like Bob knew that turncoats in our government were able to get him lost. Now, when I said that stuff about Bob, all of a sudden I got hit with fear that I was being pulled over. So somebody believes that happened, and we're looking to cover it with a spell. Like, make me afraid to say it. Thank you. He had the ability to project law enforcement, so it most likely was law enforcement. Because that's the type of thing that kills them. They because supposedly they're Bob supporters, right? But they're not. They know the machine and they don't care because they're not law enforcement doing law enforcement. They're murdering and they do it because that's their thing. So again, if you all would have taken that out of government before I got there, I wouldn't have had to worry about it. But I imagine it was just starting really to grow because you had anyone capability and their money. So, and then you see what they would do. Like they thought they got me or something like that, and then they would make the next move. And again, I'm not bringing them in. They're not sort of psychological torture, wherewithal to not do it based upon how far they'll go. And a couple other things. They have also again similar to a sex. I'm not telling you to charge them or not charge them. I'm just basically telling you how the world is wired and what's happening. And again, when we get forward 20 years, you have the kids that were around, like my kids were around it. I didn't know what was going on at the time, but it affected them. Again, they were programmed not to want me around. And it wasn't only like I could handle the mother thing, right? Because their they could handle the mother thing because they know she's off. She was off, right? We didn't sit around discussing it. Right. But I mean, obviously, she treated them a certain way. Again, in reality, I was the guy they probably should have liked. I never touched them in my life, even I spared the rod. I wasn't into that. Like I yelled at my daughter once. She was like, "Yeah, it's over." He yelled at me. I had to tell her to stop it, like because they were affecting their minds. Like, stop it! Stop! Back to your senses. I was a abused child. There's no way I would lay my hands on my children. And my wife, I simply just offended. Never started a fight in my life. I mean, we had words back and forth, but again, that's the idea of being asleep, obviously being psychologically operated, and then her being psychologically operated. Well, once you're put in a certain chute, there's not much you can do. Right. That was even before I got in the government. So when it came time for my wife's lawsuit, they scammed us. Right. And then, nobody would protect us. Again, it was, Josh Stream and those people, but there were some people before that also, federal attorney in Westminster. So again, as they wanted to make sure we didn't have any money. They wouldn't let the lawsuit go. I mean, it was worth millions. Right. They would say they're representing us and then say, well, we never put it in writing. One of those scams. Right. So again, right, with that in Maryland, that would get you killed. Right. So again, there's in a life like mine, there's not only one thing. Again, there's others. I mean, obviously, criminals hated me. I mean, I was cool, but in the BOP, I did some things to uh, discipline people. I did it in the Marshal Service, and not really. I mean, I don't think I ran into any. I did actually a couple of them, but they were just regular East Baltimore. So I think it was actually the day of 9/11. I went in there and they were just wouldn't shut up. I didn't touch any of them, but I took that. I was all pumped up and buff at that point, bodybuilding and everything. And I took my back isn't from bodybuilding. Just understand that. I'm not into overhead lifts all that much, right? It's actually from foot spurs. But what causes it? What causes that tightening? It- So where was I? You got me off track. What their goal was. Oh, so I was at the Supermax, and I took the crate of all the leg irons and cuffs and everything, just totally full, and I picked it up as high as I could. And I just let it go, and like with holding it, and it slammed between two of them while they were on the wall. And they went, whoop, had nothing else to say. Like Thor's hammer. Mr. Moore's not playing today. And they may have been paid to do that. This is how sick it is, man. They may have been paid to harass me. Actually, by government people. And they would say they're just testing me. But I mean, at what point does it become overstressing a victim? Oh, very early on, believe me. I mean, it's sick. It's sick to be into that stuff. Again, they knew I'd never be into it, so they couldn't, they didn't want me around. Right. That's another one of them. And I'm not a thug hugger. I mean, come on, but I'm a fair person. I'm consistent and fair. What you're supposed to be, right? So I got to see this group of people that are coming in. Let me see. It'll probably be all 13-year-old girls, right? With their chaperones. So I have plans to move a room, but I don't care. I just don't see, like, there's no place I see, but like in 5 minutes, God could go over there and I could leave here and go to another city. 'Cause God can't show me because Satan would know. Again, you've all given Satan a vision on this planet. But I have my vehicle wired from some righteous video surveillance. Now, who's that up there in that room? Is that the same guy? It looks like the same guy. Where's his vehicle? He changed his vehicle? Driving a Mustang now, a Mustang. There's this guy walking his French bulldogs. He like doesn't like he doesn't let anybody pet his dog. It's just so bizarre. The dog's such a nice dog. Like, oh, there he is. Hey, hey. I passed this part that I want to say. I passed every one of their tests for like decades, man. They're all full of shit. I don't recognize those people. They're finishing up the project here too. The strengthening the railings, I guess is what it was. Driving a Mustang now. Doesn't have the Larry plate on it. So I guess that's about it. Got a little bit of mouthwash. Oh, it is what I want to speak up. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I'm part of these think tanks and the power to do this. I mean, it's God, but God moves with me. And now they got a liquid that's going to grow teeth. See, once I woke up, a lot of stuff moves. They block a lot of it, like the electronic technology is being blocked, but they didn't think to block that. That's gonna be amazing within 10 years from now. Just growing teeth. No more freaking implants. No more dentures. This is it. We rock this planet. I don't care if God destroys it, but I'm behind a lot of technology, especially since I woke up. But I also, when I was a kid, I was asleep. I was connecting to everything. I don't have enough power to heal Madonna. That's why that happened. I actually have memory in Madonna's mind. This was a long time ago. I was able, again, it was clearer back then because they weren't able to block as much. But Madonna being like trashed on drugs and stuff. And I was like making sure things happened for her, like a boss in the mind. Right. Like she lived because of me. No, I don't want to sound like Jesus. I think she looked for me for a while, but like in her life, well, maybe I'd show because most people show up. I don't show up because I'm stuck in whatever shit they put me in. Right. It just takes like a connection and then it happens. I know it, I just wasn't awake. So I didn't know I was connecting. Right. I was like already in a bunch of stuff before I even, before I was 18. I just was asleep because I read those encyclopedias. So I was connecting. I was already in the army. People heavy in their head. Like I've gotten to a lot of places, but I can't get anywhere there. Like I was part of the machine gun thing, private ownership of machine guns. I mean, honest ownership. I'm not right. And I actually ordered their catalog, but I couldn't get anywhere. Like that guy in Arizona, I was quote unquote in with him back in the day when people weren't killing each other with the machine guns. Right. Kind of a military thing. Right. Military, what do they call it? History type of thing. Nah, I just don't have the power to help Madonna at this point because I can't even get to an apartment. I helped Madonna, Brittany, and what was that other girl that was with her for a while? Avril Lavigne, called Lavigne. Inside, I did healing work, kept them up for a while. Oh, the other girl too. What was like Hilton's daughter, Paris Hilton. I did mind work for them. Everybody was killing them. Every one of them dead, and they couldn't kill them. So then eventually they see me. It's his fault we couldn't kill them. But I can't heal her this time. I don't have enough energy. I can't, keep my own health up. I mean, soon I might be able to get my health up a little bit. I'm going to start, I was supposed to get, if I was in an apartment, my health would probably be higher right now. Like Madonna will call me and I'll do something. And then, I'll go to like look at a couple of videos, look at her webpage or something. And then I'll be able to connect and keep her up a little bit. Because you can watch your life track until I just track pretty, pretty normal until I disappear. Normal as normal can be with Madonna, but then you can track where I no longer connect, and her life kind of tanked. And it may have been a reciprocating connection. I don't know. Right. But when they all came front and center, people were trying to take them out. And I was healing them and doing that kind of work. He wants me to hate Madonna. It's like you did all that work and you got nowhere. I mean, that's Satan. I mean, they do owe me, but you know, every time something came my way, they killed it. Again, I was moving in certain directions, and it would actually. And that's the government and the people that did this and their private sector criminal crimes know that's how life works. You get somewhere and then you connect. You get somewhere again. So they're violating law. I mean, there's no disruption in technology. I mean, they may be able to articulate it minorly once, but with what they've done, no, they can't even articulate it. I don't even think it's legal disruption technology. Again, the theory is that you stop something that's going to become a crime, and obviously, it's their bullshit. Again, they're forming a Nazi, the Fourth Reich. When I woke up, I said it's the Fourth Reich. They're forming the Fourth Reich, and it's a spycraft Reich. But it's also known as the Beast. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do.